So again, this is the follow-up to the class that we had that was entitled Low Profit Limited Liability Companies. That is the next generation in terms of nonprofits. As we stated, one of the setbacks to being a regular 501c3 is that you're limited in terms of the resources you can bring in to fund the nonprofit. That limitation is by our IRS. It includes that you're limited to getting money from foundations, corporations, donations in the government in terms of your funding sources to maintain your status as a 501c3. The L3C different. Although the L3C is also about charity making a change of positive, because it's now C3, it gets its funding from what's known as program-related investment loans that come from banks and other type of financial institutions that provides the seed money for that L3C to get started and to bring in different types of revenue streams. Again, with that initial program-related investment, the organization started with its own equity. The equity rate represents this loan. Using this, now it can invest in shares of public company. It can do acquisitions of stake in another company through merger. It can do venture capital investments in the startup. It can do private equity investment in mature companies, common stocks, preferred stocks. It can also fund whole stocks, such as exchange trade funds and mutual funds. The other unique thing about this, in addition to the things that you see in front of you, is that as a for-profit, it can raise capital by using debt and selling shares. As you can see, it's unlimited ways of bringing in money. But let's go back to takeaways from the class and questions that was asked in the class related to this. Very good questions that were asked during the question and answer section that bears, I think, a lot of insight and help you to understand your decision as to whether or not you want to do an L3C. That being said, let's go to the second part. And the L3C when it's facing as well. So if you're interested in starting with your paperwork, especially the fitness pay and the certificate pay, in order to qualify for an L3C and all of any other. So let me get some feedback. Any feedback on what we went through tonight? Give me some feedback. Anybody? Yeah, can we what is the L3C without having a 501c3 or is it in addition to the 501c3? No, you don't. You can be, in fact, a private company and decided that you want to do a good deed, but you want to do it under a for-profit, an LLC. So yeah, you actually can start. You can actually start an L3C and not be a 501c3 corporation. Okay. Now there are some benefits if you're both at the same time, but you don't have to be. And the companies that we talked about early on, in the presentation, all of those companies were the private sector wanting to start a business that was focused on charity. That's the only requirement to starting L3C. Now, for a nonprofit, because it's got that 501(c) status, so what it want to establish a foreign corporation in one of the states that we talked about and create that LLC there. That way, because they got so many ways of bringing in money, they can actually fund that 501(c)(3) organization in a state that doesn't have this type of status. But what's important is that this is a new way, a new approach to how you bring in funds to nonprofits. We all know as nonprofits that no matter how many grants we go for, there's never ever enough money. On the other hand, the L3C, because of the way it's set up, there's unlimited dollars that you can go for in order to bring up above your charity purpose. You can make all kinds of investments. So that equity investment, you can do all kinds of things. You can make investments in artificial intelligence, crypto, you name it, it's unlimited. The only requirement is that you be an organization that focuses towards a charitable purpose. Okay. And there were questions related to that. Yeah, I was just saying we are a church, but we don't have a 501(c)(3). So instead of having that, we just wanted to do the L3C. Well, you couldn't do an LL3C. Well, you could do an LL3C3 as a church if you wanted to. Yeah, okay. Now, where are you located? We're in Florida. So, yeah, that wasn't. In Florida, you would have to do a farm corporation in one of the states that permits an LLC3, like Chicago or something like that. So you could, as a church, go down to one of these states and say, look, we're a church and we want to found as a foreign organization. Do you know what they mean by foreign organization? No. That's any organization that's not from the state. You're basically saying, New York, no, I'm from Florida. I want to come in as a foreign organization. That's what we mean by a foreign organization, that you establish in another state, but you want to do business in this state. So let me re-emphasize. For example, you are in Tampa, Florida. You're a nonprofit. You do housing. And your nonprofit is focused on national efforts. And the reason why I say national, because you want to make sure that the vision that you have for your nonprofit is one that stretches across the nation. For example, if your vision is only for geographically Hillsborough County, then you're limited in terms of scope and trying to do one of these types of L3C. But if you are in housing, you can always change your geographic in housing to say you're looking at workable, affordable housing throughout the United States. Then, that being said, you will create a second arm to your nonprofit by creating an L3C, let's say in Chicago. The L3C will still be controlled by pretty much the nonprofit. But the beauty of it is that because you're in Chicago, because you're able to get different streams of income, now the money that you bring in down to Chicago, you can actually provide grants back to your organization that's in Florida. So yeah, you are definitely able to start a nonprofit and extend that nonprofit to another state by creating a foreign organization. But you want to make sure that your geographic focus
is changed to local to national.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely that will until the point in which the 563 become a national model, which is going to be. Because this will be at least putting yourself in a position that when it does come this way nationally, you're able to, consider that. And if you are a nonprofit and you're in the state of Florida or one of the states here, there always is that option of starting a nonprofit in a foreign state in order to be a L3C.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So the way we would go about it, we would actually have to go to Chicago. And,
yeah, because the state has to recognize.
Okay.
Florida currently does not recognize the L3C. Florida recognizes a 501c3.
Right. Okay.
Florida recognizes a limited corporation, but it doesn't recognize a what's known as a low profit limited liability. This is a new beast that's just coming about. And it's spreading throughout the country. It's the next level of bringing in money. And so with this, can we do Church Society to do housing project? Now it's got new money coming into affordable housing. If the society do business development, it's new money.
Okay, let me stop because the gentleman did ask related to grants. You still can apply for grants if you are an L3C.
Come in and do that as well. Now, as a 501c3 and the church, you can also do that as a 501c3 here in Florida. The only thing is that you're limited in terms of the funding source. As a 501c3, you're only limited to donations, money from the government, money from foundations and corporations. Okay. But as an L3C, you're not limited in terms of how to bring in different types of funding for your organization.
So let me emphasize the three things that is required to be an L3C. First, the organization must be purpose-driven. That is, purpose over profit. Second, in order to qualify, it should not have a significant purpose for the production of income or appreciation of property. And thirdly, it does not have a purpose related to political or legislative purpose. Okay, that being said, let's continue.
Any other questions? Everybody good?
Could we get this the recording of this meeting? Would you just email it to us or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this recording section here, create a link where you can get the link and go and see the presentation.
Okay. And how
it's already live around the nation. So I'll send you individual copies as well.
Okay, awesome.
This particular event, because we did it on different platforms, Facebook being one of them, at the end of the day, we was able to reach 95 different types of folks that participated in the first of what's going to be many conversations about the L3C. These folks were from around the nation, so we know we were getting to change the narrative, change the conversation, change the paradigm when it comes to how do you create nonprofits that are able to increase abundantly their ability to bring in different streams of income to do what they know best to change the world.
And how, if we had any other questions, how could we reach you?
When I email you, you can forward that email back.
Now, keep in mind, we also work with nonprofits. So if you're a church and you want to convert to a nonprofit, you can, and we work with people. Because as a nonprofit, 501c3, the church can go. Let me jump in real quick and say, if you did want to reach us, you can reach us at the email Center for Nonprofit and Community at gmail.com. Let me say it again. Center for Nonprofit and Community at gmail.com. For even more money in order to do what it do best. Like, for example, we got one person here tonight. She deals with education here in the state of Florida. Well, we know education is government any place in the nation. So, before 501c3, she can start being 2-3 years a second nonprofit in one of these states as an L3C. That way, she will be able to bring in untold money to deal with education. So that's another example as to what you can do as an L3C. The reason why we're going down there is because here in the state of Florida, we're limited in terms of the money that we can bring in as a nonprofit to provide the training that we do. If we go down to, well, the training in addition to the how to do type of workshop that we focus on. We are what you call a training institute to show people how, anywhere from community development, business plans, etc. To one of these states right here and create a second branch of our nonprofit, a for-profit branch of it, and we're able to bring in all kinds of regular funders, investors, and other people to invest in the charitable cause that we're doing, that we couldn't do in the state of Florida. So yeah, you can actually be a person that is an entrepreneur. And you say, I want to do an LLC, but I want to do it for a good cause. Then yeah, you can. That means that it's purpose over profits to pertain to your nonprofit. Let me say that again. Purpose over profit. That's the thing that that is required to be a foundation, but that's required to be a L3C. So your business has to be purpose over profit. That's why your business is called a limited liability. I'm sorry, a low profit limited liability company. Let's look at some different ways that you can bring in money and some different other things involved in L3C that we cover in class. But I think it's bad needed for us to stop and look at what are those benefits before we move forward with those who talking about what they got out of the class and some more good questions that they pose. Before we leave tonight, look, I want to apologize. We was here, I was talking, and all of a sudden the internet went out on all my computers. I was trying to get on another computer, but I had to reboot the entire internet. So that's why I was saying each of you your own copy, because you endured this long with this presentation. I had to reboot on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on all those different segments of people that's looking at this presentation, because it's really gaining attention from people from around the country as to, hey, how can I take this to the next level to increase? Now, the other thing about an L3C Unlike a nonprofit, you know, when you get a nonprofit, you have to give the proceeds to the government, to another nonprofit, or to the faith community. With an L3C, when you close up, you can actually take that money and do what you want. That's another good thing about an L3C, because I've seen nonprofits that their leaders have been there for like 20, 30 years. And when they close up, they have to give everything they did to another nonprofit instead of cashing it on all the work, good work that they did. So that's another reason for an L3C as it relates to a nonprofit. Because it gives you an opportunity to everything that you earn. Now you can, and not only that, with an L3C, you can really pay compatible, marketable rates for your employees in order to attract them. So that being said, we've made it through it. And I want to thank everybody for sticking with me, even though the internet went down. So before we go out tonight, anything else from anybody before I close out?
And you say you help to form the L3C?
Yes, it can be a regular LLC or a L3C.
Okay.
So I do both the regular LLCs
Uh-huh.
or the L3C.
And where do we go for that? Do you your website or?
No, when I email you this presentation, just email me back and say, hey Mike, I wanna start a nonprofit, or I wanna start a LLC.
Okay.
Since Aaron this earlier video. So when you hit me back on since Aaron this earlier video on L3C, we've gotten so far, and this is the first couple of days, 15 response from around the country related to our services. We think that number's gonna go up more and more as this new approach to creating good things way a charitable cost. As that goes up, this type of entity will go up as well. And then I'll be back with how to get started.
Okay. Thank
Any other questions? No problem. Again, thank everybody. This information must have been worth it because this stuff new, even though we went down for at least 15 minutes, but you stayed on it. So any other questions from anybody before we get out of here tonight? Everybody good? Okay. Thanks again for attending the next class. I'm really looking forward to you getting this information so you can take it to the okay. Thanks again for attending the next class. I'm really looking forward to you getting this information so you can take it to the next next level. Anybody else? Anything else to add to it before we close up?
Well, I want to do one more question. Okay, I know with a 501c3, right? Technically, the government, I think you kind of explained it. The government really owns everything that you have, right? But with the
Yeah, pretty much what happened with a 501c3, you don't own it. The corporation owns it. And because the corporation is a 501c3, when they close down, it must give everything it owns to another nonprofit, a church, or the government.
Okay. I just want you to clarify.
Yeah, so that's the way it works for 501c3. If you close down, it goes to somebody else.
And L3C is not like that, so we can just.
L3C, you keep it.
Okay.
You keep it. L3C, when you close down, you say, look, I'm putting everything on eBay. I'm selling everything. So you can actually get that for L3C because you actually own it. That's another reason why a lot of people are saying no. I don't want to get into a situation where, I got a nonprofit maybe 10 years from now, I decide, look, I really don't want to do this. And now I got to get everything back and all the time that I put in it. So that's another way of doing it as well.
Okay.
Like I'm 77. I plan to be here till at least I'm 90. So I definitely want to be able to do an L3C. So when I do close my eyes, like I can do what we call generational wealth.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, everybody.
Oops, actually, I'm not 77. I'm 67, but I do plan to stay here until I'm at least 90.
Any questions? Before we close up. Going once, going twice. Thank you so much for all of the technical difficulties that